Well, let's go back to John now at Old Trafford. John.
A brief burst of sunshine greets you at Old Trafford. Our main story tonight, Sir Alex Ferguson's decision to retire as Manchester United's manager after 26 years in charge, 38 trophies under his belt. We're joined now by Clayton Blackmore, who won an FA Cup title under Sir Alex and now works with the promising future players here at the Football Academy. And from North London by Alice Campbell, who is a personal and political friend of Sir Alex. But first, Clayton, this hairdryer business, were you subjected to the hairdryer treatment?
Yeah, I think if it's well documented. There's only Eric Cantona who didn't get it. I actually got it a couple of times, and it is a little bit scary at the time. But
he really gives you a total going over.
Yeah, he does, and you know, we deserve it probably. Maybe not as much as that, but
when you first worked under him as a manager, I mean, was he entirely comprehensible?
Yeah, I mean, it was, you know, I got to say, my first team talk, you know, you want to do well for your manager and the new manager coming in, and I didn't quite understand quite a lot of what he was saying to me because his accent was so broad. But, you know, I just thought I'm going to have to wing it and just do the best I can. Well,
that's coming from a man who played for Wales, so there's no explaining anything. Alistair Campbell in London, I'm wondering, the thing about Sir Alex, it seems to me, is that he was much more than just a football manager. He appears to have been a man with a hinterland, but also to have a real understanding of leadership. And I'm delighted to find out that from you, actually, from your blog, that he's read one of the great books on leadership, Lincoln Team of Rivals. What do you make of him?
Well, he reads a lot of American political history in particular, but he reads British political history as well, and I think he's somebody who studies leadership and studies team building. And that interview that I put on my blog today was the time I interviewed him for the New Statesman, where we were both actually talking about A Team of Rivals, the book on Lincoln's leadership. And I think if you think about what he's done in terms of, and there's Clayton Blackmore who played a while ago, but he's built a whole succession of different teams and had to keep people happy when actually a lot of them aren't necessarily happy because they're not being picked or they're injured or they're worried about them being moved on. But he's always had, you call it a hinterland, but I think what he's got is a real understanding of human nature and of people. And the greatest joy, I think, in his career, obviously winning trophies and medals has been important, but I think the greatest joy in his career is to constantly bringing on young talent. And I think that his political values are also important in terms of his concept of what a team is and how you build a team and how you make a team endure. So he's certainly somebody who should not, I mean, obviously his success has been ultimately as a football manager, but he's somebody who understands history and politics and cinema and all sorts of things, and he takes a great interest in the world.
But if we look, Clayton, at what he's done in terms of the way club has changed in 26 years, it's gone from being, a football club, quite a successful one, to being a major global business and brand. Yeah. Is that good for football?
Yeah, I mean, you got to look, when he came to the club, we were 13th in the league, we were struggling. And he's had to change all that round. And, you know, it took him 2 or 3 years to do it. But in the end, he got the team he wanted. And he instilled steel, I think, into players. And I think any player who comes to the club, the players are already there, let them know what to expect from the manager. And I think the biggest thing is he's very fair. Where he gives you the hairdryer, you ask every player who's played under him and they all love him.
Alistair Campbell, I mean, on the football front, I mean, you must see what I guess everyone is talking about, which is obviously if they bring in, for example, David Moyes from Everton, and that does seem to be the man that's going to get the job. You've got a man who's never won in Europe and never played in Europe, and indeed has won no trophies. But on the other hand, could be the kind of young future Alex Ferguson. Is that the way you're looking at it?
Well, I saw an interview with Bobby Charlton a few weeks ago where somebody asked him about Jose Mourinho coming in, and I sort of saw the look on his face and you just got the sense that's not going to happen. And I think the thing about David Moyes, he's Scottish, he's working class. He does actually happen to be a Labour supporter as well, but we can park that for the moment. But I think what he's got is that sense of understanding about the values at the heart of a football club. That's why people at Everton, even though, as you say, largely due to lack of resources, he hasn't necessarily won trophies, but he's built something at Everton that is absolutely extraordinary given what that club is. And I think for Manchester United, part of Alex Ferguson's thinking about how to go and when to go is making sure that he leaves a club to be inherited, that somebody who comes in with talent, with energy and with drive and all the qualities that David Moyes undoubtedly has, he can actually keep this going on.
We're running out of time, but I want to ask you a very quick question to a quick answer, and that is, he is a political man. Did he time it today deliberately because of what else was going on today? A good day to bury difficult news?
No, absolutely not. I think that I must admit, I'm quite surprised that you're leading on this as opposed to the Queen's speech, but that probably says something about the paucity of the Queen's speech, if I can be, just for a moment, be political. But no, listen, there was never a good time,
Alistair,
but I think he's going out at the right time.
Alistair, you've had your Fergie time. We've got to go. Thanks very much indeed for joining us, and thank you, Clayton, too.